magnificent mathematicians. Today's lesson is really important, so I need you to really focus and listen to what I'm saying. We're going to learn two new concepts today: fractions greater than a whole and a mixed number. So up until now, or before we started fractions, we always talked about whole numbers. Whole numbers are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 623, 7,014. So they were whole numbers. And then we added fractions. Fractions, remember, are equal parts of a whole or a group. So today we're going to combine them to make mixed numbers. And sometimes we end up with fractions greater than a whole. So let's take a look at this first. If you've been following lessons, we've added and subtracted fractions with like denominators. Remember, the denominator is the bottom number in a fraction underneath the bar that says divide. I'm dividing fractions. So my denominator is 4, which means 4 equal pieces in the whole. And let's say I have 1/4. So that means it takes 4 whole pieces to add a whole, and I'm referencing or talking about one of those. So then we did some addition and we did 1/4 plus 2/4. So my size pieces, or my denominator, is 4. So my pieces are still fourths. I have one of those plus 2 more. So if I were to draw that as a picture, 4 equal parts in the whole, I have one of them, and I add 2 more. So I end up with 3/4, or 3 of the 4 pieces. Easy enough. So, and the same thing works with subtraction. So let's say I'm going to change this up a little bit. And I'm going to make my denominator fifths. So that means it takes 5 pieces to make a whole. So I'm going to draw my fraction bar up here. And there's 5 pieces. So I'm going to say 3/5, numerator 3, I'm referencing 3. Bottom number, denominator is 5. So I want 3 of those 5 pieces. Plus, I'm going to add another 3 pieces out of the 5, plus 3/5. So I have 5 pieces in my whole. I have 3 to start with, and I'm adding 3 more. So here's 1 more, 2 more. Ooh, I filled up that whole bar. But I still have 1 more piece. So I have to make another bar of 5. And I need 1 more. So it's 3/5, 1, 2, 3, because there's 5 pieces in the whole, plus 1, 2, 3 more. 5 pieces in the whole. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's 6/5. That looks a little strange, because what did we learn? 1 whole, 1 equals, if I have 5 pieces, I need 5 of those. So 1 equals 5/5. But I have 6. So I actually have more than a whole. So what do I have? 6 out of 5 pieces equals 1 whole and 1/5. This is called a mixed number. I have 1 whole and a fractional piece. 6/5 equals 1 and 1/5. Whenever my top numerator is bigger than my bottom denominator, that's called a fraction greater than a whole. Let's take another look at that. If my bottom denominator is 4, how many pieces am I going to need to make a whole? I'm going to need 4, because once my top and bottom are the same, that equals 1 whole. But let's say I have the fraction 6/4. My pieces are fourths, but I have 6 of them. My top numerator is bigger than my bottom denominator. That's a fraction bigger than a whole. How many pieces do I need to make a whole? I only need 4 pieces to make a whole. So I can take those 4 away, 6 minus 4. That will make 1 whole, and then I have 2 left. And what size are they? Fourths. So 6/4, because if I look at it as a picture, I need 6 pieces, 1, 2, 3, 4. Filled up that hole. I need to make another bar with 4 pieces. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Those are my 6/4. 6/4 equals 1 whole and 2 pieces out of the 4 and 2/4. 6/4, which is a fraction greater than a whole, equals 1 whole and 2/4. 1 and 2/4 is a mixed number. Making fraction bars is an easy way to see it visually, and the more you do this, the easier it becomes, where you don't always have to draw a fraction bar. Just like anything else, the more you do it, the easier it gets. Let me try an easy one like this. I have 2/3 plus 2/3. So my pieces are thirds. That's my denominator. So it would take 3 pieces to make a whole. Remember, numerator, denominator the same. It means 1 whole. My pieces are 3. So I'm going to add my numerator. 2 plus 2 are 4. 4/3. 4/3 is what? Fraction greater than a whole. How many pieces do I need for the whole? 3. So if I take 3 of those pieces from the 4, I have 1 whole, and I have 1 left. 1 and 1/3. This fraction greater than a whole becomes a mixed number. 1 and 1/3. I could subtract the 3, and I get 1 and 1 left, 1/3. Ooh, that sounds like division. That's going to be something for tomorrow, because we know repeated subtraction is division. Let's try one more. Seven fifths. 7/5. Fraction greater than a whole. How many pieces do I need for the whole? Only 5, but I have more than that. So 7/5 equals, I can make 1 whole because I need 5 pieces out of that 7. And how many do I have left? 2. 2 left. And what size are they? Fifths. Ooh. You know what that sounds like? 7 divided by 5 equals 1 remainder 2. Oh, 1, 2 remain, they're fifths. Math is patterns. Everything is connected. Let's look at that again. Let's do 3/5 plus 4/5. 3/5 plus 4/5. What's my denominator? My pieces are fifths. Now I can add my top numerators. 3 plus 4 are 7. 7/5. What is this? Fraction greater than a whole. How many pieces do I need to make a whole? 5. So 7 divided by 5 equals 1 remainder 2. 1 whole, 2 left, And what size are they? Fifths. 1 and 2/5. Oh, let's try sevenths. Let's go 6/7. That means my denominator is 7. I need 7 pieces to make a whole, and I have 6 of them. I've almost got enough right there. Plus 5/7. Denominator tells me the size pieces. They're sevenths. How many in my numerators? 6 plus 5 are 11. I need 7 pieces for the whole, and I have 11. Fraction greater than a whole, we're going to turn into a mixed number. So how many 7s are in 11? Divided by 7 equals 1. And what is my remainder? 4. One and 4/7. We're going to do something with this tomorrow that's going to just be like so cool. You're going to love fractions. Everything's related. Remember, if you can add, you can multiply. If you can subtract, you can divide. If you can multiply, you can divide. It's patterns. We've got this. Make sure that you watch the the Brain Pop, and then do trainer for today, because that gives you extra practice on this. And again, if you have any questions, send me an email. Mixed number, fraction greater than a whole. And if you need to draw fraction bars, that's great, that's okay. The more you do something, the easier it gets. And then pretty soon you'll just look at it and know, oh, I know what that is. I don't have to draw a fraction bar. But if you want to draw a fraction bar for 11/7, that means my bar would have 7 pieces in it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 11 of them, or 6 plus 5 is 11. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Oops, I need some more. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Looking at my bars, I have 1 whole bar filled. And how many pieces? 1, 2, 3, 4 pieces. And there's 7 in a whole. 1 and 4/7. Fraction greater than a whole, mixed number. Thanks for watching, guys.